Isn't, to be honest to you, like what they were doing, what they like, and the kind of kinky stuff, the kinky side of them. I love to get to know all of that. Um, Even for them to get to know me, as who I am. You know, Come on, the girl joke says like I'm trans and I'm tricking this guy. He thinks I'm a girl. They like to hear that stuff. It's pretty much amazing for me.
Now, what is it like how's the money issue? Like how much is the most money you've ever made from we would say if we were alone and just chit-chatting ourselves, but I'm going to say it out, turning tricks. How much is the most money you have made turning tricks?
To be honest, I will say I went into history when we had this little girl, website where we'll say who makes the most money. In 2014, I went into a little bit history in terms of saying that I have made just about $8,000 in 4 days, and in 6 days I was on $12,000, where I did find out that I needed some rest. So I will say $12,000 in 6 days. That would be the most I ever made, basically.
Okay. Now that we've talked about that, now the dangers of escorting, mainly when you're on the road, what were you most worried about traveling on the road? What was the most concerning thing for you?
The three things I can say will be, the number one, I'm not in well, basically sometimes I'm not in Ontario. I know I'm in Canada, which is safe, but sometimes you may have a health issue, and that would be one, because you're in a hotel by yourself. You can never tell when you may have a stroke, something happen. That will be a scare for me, because um, you're still by yourself in a hotel room where no one is going to check on you. For me, as girls, we always try to call one another, to make sure everything is good. My second concern, sometimes you don't know the people you're dealing with, and you could be dealing with a thief, a murderer, somebody psychotic, even to the point that somebody might come over. You don't know if you could get robbed. You don't know what's the dangers and who you're meeting. That's be my second concern.
Have you ever had any of these issues? Any of those issues?
Before I said, I think which is the number top three, which sometimes you don't always satisfy each customer, or sometimes customers, most of them when they release, they start having that uncertain bipolar bullshit. So in terms of saying that, there have been times that which I never been robbed. I never really had. I did have one issue before, where was in a hotel and I had an anxiety attack, where my heart just kind of racing, and I just rushed to open the door and stuff, catch some fresh air. But that happened once. I never got robbed. And the third one, where it comes to satisfying customers, or button up on the wrong one, there have been a time where I can say twice. There was a time I was in Windsor basically, and I had a customer. He told me he only had $120. He's under the budget. He want to know he's just gonna spend half an hour. He's gonna respect me, and he's gonna make sure he enjoy myself. When the guy came over, he had $80, and in terms that he didn't even say, because for me, I believe there's a way doing certain things and saying certain things. He just give me the $80 and he starts stripping. And I'm like, hold on, this thing, like, we agree on the price, darling. I know you didn't have my two bills, and I respect that. You're very honest. But at the end of the day, this is still short of the coinage. So this guy got a little bit head over heels, snatched back up the money, told me fuck off. And he actually even pulled up my charger, because I was charging his phone. I jumped on his back. I'm like, The fuck, this is your fault. You could just give me the $80 and said, this is all I have now at the moment. And it caused a fight. This guy actually, threw me one side, and I'm like, bitch, you know who I am? I have a pair of balls between my legs, so I'm gonna fight you. So we were timely going out through the door, and as soon as I get out, the guys from New York City, basically, you have to be 21 to drink in the States. So they came over here to drink in Windsor. And as soon as we got out, the raffle went on. And one of the big guys, he looks like he's on steroids. He's huge. And he's like, he saw the fight. And he's like, what happened, miss? What happened? And I'm like, this guy took my money. So as soon as I said that, this big ass boy grabbed this bitch up and threw him on the wall. He's like, look at her. Why you gonna rob her? And I'm like, yes, I don't even know why you will rob me. You take the money. And this big guy threw one punch in his face.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, oh my God. So then he's like, look at her, she's pretty. Why would you rob her? Like, the fuck, look at her. And then I'm like, yeah, I don't know why. So he took out the money and dropped it on the ground. And he's like, then the kid was like, look at her, she's really gorgeous and pretty. You take advantage of her and give her another punch in his face. And his head bounced off the wall. And he dropped on the floor, knocked up for like maybe 20 seconds. I took out the money.
Scary.
Yes, it was drama. And he ran through the door. This was the tea. Now, the people that was partying there, like a bunch of 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds. I think there was like 6 of them. But they didn't know I was trans. So the manager came out, that time my key was locked inside the room, so I couldn't get back in my room. And he's like, I'm gonna get your key, you're gonna give me your ID to make sure this is you. And I'm like, okay, no problem. So by the time I got in the room, the guys find out that I'm T, trans. So I having one of the guys calling my phone. You're like, I didn't know you're trans. And I'm like, thank you for picking up for me though. You know how to respect a woman. So then the next guy called and he's like, so can I see you? And I'm like, come on, I still have to charge my coinage. As much as you pick up for me, I still have to charge my coinage. But that was one of the incidents I've been through.
Oh my God, that sounds, it's frightening, scary. But at the end of the day, somebody stood up for you.
Yes.
So, on that note, now, in the business, how long do you plan on being in this business? Or are you still in this business now?
Yes, I'm still in the business. My plans was to stop the business since last year, but how to put it, my money plans wasn't on track, and back page have been taken down. So at the moment I'm planning to go on for maybe another year, another 2 years, until I own my own business, most likely, so I can have like a little coins coming, like a little 150 a day coming in for my own investment or own business. However, I don't think I will stop escorting still. The man with the right dollar, I still shake my titties for him.
Okay. So you because the money is so good, you don't want to stop.
Yeah, to be honest, even though the money is good, it don't always be that well, because some people will compare, you make good money, not all the time. And one lesson to be learned, fast money goes just as fast. It have a curse on it. So as much as the life is fast, the money doesn't last too long.
Well, you have to put the money towards something
good uses. That's what I'm trying to do this year.
So at the end of the day, what do you want? What should people know about Sweet Pea?
To be honest, I will say I'm very inspiring. I'm a million things. I'm nice. I take time for myself, but at the end of the day, Sweet Pea is still, a person that does what she wants to do,
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
in terms of fashion, looks, even, I don't know, you know, being business wise, I enjoy my every minute of my life, and I look up for respect, and I expect those who are looking at this and who are viewing this, millions of people to respect themselves. You know, there are people out here that will strip your value very fast. You know, and they don't show, like, even if they're escort, if you're, you know, your time is precious. It takes a lot of energy. Don't let anybody drain your energy. You know, always recharge for yourself. That's my best advice, and that's what I'm looking to do at the moment. Recharge myself, make my own business. So because this escorting thing is, for me in my heart, it's not going to last too long. There are people that coming out. There are girls that desperate for money, you know, and they do anything for less of what they're really worth. And I'm not downgrading them or, you know, looking at them in any form of fact, but, you know, down the line, you know, men are going to devalue the cost of it, because I know even female escorts who guys take them to dinners, pay them for their time. They're not expecting that much. But then me as a trans, you know, guys want to know from the get-go, you know, what are we going to do? You know, how is this going to play? You know, they're looking for a whole jalopy. And I can say that much in terms, like, the business is not going to last too long. You know, there's already start devaluing. The government have already taken on most of the important sites. And so that's why I can advise anybody, make whatever you make good uses of it.
Okay, just a couple more questions for you, Sweet Pea. Now, with the difference between, how is it that the trans women are treated in the gay community, the gay men in the community? How is the relationship between trans women and gay men?
To be honest to you, we are under umbrella, basically. I'm going to be honest, and this is one of the main facts that this is. I'm going